Welcome to this episode. Today, we're diving into a topic that often gets mixed up with cannabis culture, but is actually much broader. Cannabinoids, specifically the CB2 receptor, and how it relates to brain inflammation and recovery.
Yeah, it's interesting because when most people hear cannabinoids, they immediately think of cannabis or marijuana products. But in science, cannabinoids mean a lot more than just the plant or consumer goods.
Exactly. Our bodies actually have their own cannabinoid system, called the endocannabinoid system. It's made up of natural chemicals, receptors, enzymes, and signaling pathways that help regulate both the nervous system and the immune system.
So you can think of the endocannabinoid system as a kind of internal communication network that helps keep things balanced in the body. It's not just about getting high or cannabis products. It's about how our bodies manage important functions.
Right, and within this system, there are two main receptors that get a lot of attention, CB1 and CB2. CB1 is mostly found in the brain and nervous system, and is linked to the psychoactive effects of THC. You know, the high people associate with cannabis.
And CB2 is quite different. It's mostly found on immune cells and is involved in immune signaling and inflammation, especially in the brain. So it's not about intoxication, but about how the immune system and nervous system interact.
A good way to think about it is like two different locks on doors in the body. THC fits the CB1 lock, opening the door to psychoactive effects. CB2 is a different lock, mostly on immune system doors. Scientists are really interested in designing keys that fit only this CB2 lock to avoid unwanted effects.
That's a great analogy. And it's important because CB2 sits right at the crossroads of immune signaling and brain health. This brings us to neuroinflammation, which is inflammation in the nervous system, especially the brain.
Inflammation itself is a natural defense and repair response. Think of it like a controlled fire that cleans up damage and helps healing. But if that fire gets out of control, if inflammation becomes excessive or prolonged, it can actually cause more stress and damage to brain cells.
And that's why neuroinflammation is a big deal in brain health. It's involved in injury recovery, chronic pain, cognitive decline, psychiatric disorders, and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. So managing inflammation is key to helping the brain recover and stay healthy.
Now, CB2 receptors are found on microglia, the brain's immune cells that act like sentinels, monitoring and responding to injury or infection. When microglia activate, they can trigger inflammatory responses that might help or harm brain tissue, depending on the situation.
So scientists are exploring whether targeting CB2 receptors can modulate this immune activity in the brain, maybe reducing harmful inflammation without causing psychoactive effects. That's why CB2 is such a hot topic in recovery biology.
And this is where biotech companies, like Biotech International Institute, come in. They're not trying to make cannabis products. Instead, they're studying receptor biology and designing small molecules that selectively target CB2.
Selectivity is key here. It means designing compounds that bind specifically to CB2 and not CB1, so you avoid the psychoactive side effects. It's like crafting a key that fits only one lock perfectly, without accidentally opening other doors.
BII's Neuroforol is a research-stage, patent-pending platform exploring this receptor-selective approach to neuroinflammation. The goal is to test whether engaging CB2 can influence brain recovery, but it's still early research, no claims of medicine or cannabis products.
And that's an important point. Interest alone isn't enough in science. Researchers need to prove that a compound actually binds the intended receptor, triggers the right biological signals, and affects inflammation in meaningful ways.
That's where biomarkers come in. Measurable signs like blood markers or brain imaging that show whether the treatment is engaging the biology it's supposed to. Validation involves lab tests, safety screening, animal studies, and more.
This careful process ensures findings are reliable and that any future development is based on solid evidence. It's not about hype or marketing. It's about rigorous science.
And because cannabinoids are so closely tied to cannabis in the public mind, it's crucial to separate rigorous scientific research from consumer cannabis products. BII emphasizes that Neuroforol is not a cannabis product or wellness item. It's a research tool for scientific exploration.
That distinction helps maintain credibility with scientists, investors, regulators, and the public. It's about clear, responsible language.
Looking at the bigger picture, Brain recovery isn't about one single pathway or target. BII's broader research includes programs exploring neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, and neurotrophic signaling, which involves growth and repair pathways.
Neuro4All fits into this bigger puzzle by focusing on the immune and inflammatory side of brain recovery. The future of brain health research likely involves combining multiple approaches to support healing and function.
So, to wrap up, cannabinoid science is much more than cannabis culture. It's a window into complex receptor biology and immune signaling. CB2 receptor research offers a promising but still unproven path toward understanding and potentially modulating neuroinflammation in brain recovery.
The key takeaway is that this is early-stage, careful science focused on testing and validation, not hype or marketing. The body's own cannabinoid system is a fascinating frontier, with many open questions, and science is working hard to explore it responsibly.
Well said. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks. Hope this gave you a clearer picture of cannabinoids beyond the usual cannabis conversation.
Until next time.